Good morning and welcome to my oral assignment for the class EPP 1100, Thinking and Acting Like a Teacher 1. Today I will address a number of topics which address my current understandings of being a professional teacher. So moving on to the first question. What makes teaching a profession? So at first, the word teacher is just a job title. However, when we unpack the word teaching, we discover it is a whole lot more than just standing in front of a bunch of kids and writing on a whiteboard. According to the Alberta Teachers Association, teaching is a process that facilitates learning. It is the use of specialised knowledge, skills, and attributes designed to provide a unique service to meet the educational needs of an individual. So for me, that's all a touch informal, so I'm going to break it down from my own understanding. To me, a job is a means to earn money, whereas teaching is a profession which allows people such as myself and my fellow students to embark on a lifelong journey. Teaching as a profession requires you to lead by example, not only within the walls of your classroom, but in your everyday life, as you're representing a code of ethics and values which make teaching a true profession. So what was my motivation to enter the profession? I'm motivated by my ability to influence. I believe to have a positive influence on young minds is the best motivation imaginable because it is such an important job. I am motivated upon entering the profession of teaching based on the idea that with the right tools, strategies, and full commitment to the profession, I will have the ability to enhance the minds of young learners. Knowing I can influence the future generations is so exciting, and this is why I've decided to share my passion for learning. So moving on to my strengths. So what are my strengths and why are these important? I have many strengths, which I believe would aid me in becoming a successful teacher. I have a highly creative mind. I am patient, passionate, approachable, kind, compassionate, and I genuinely care for people, which I think is so important as a teacher because if you don't care about people, you can't fully commit to the role. My strengths are important as they are what will shape me as a teacher. They will also shape the way my students, their families, and my fellow colleagues view me. Everyone has different strengths, and I believe it is important to view them for not only what they are, but what they can do and how they can shape you as a person and as a teacher. Which leads me to the next question. What kind of teacher do I aspire to be? What has influenced this aspirational teacher identity? I aspire to be a fun, creative, assertive and approachable teacher, what has influenced this teacher identity, and I'm sure a lot of students have actually given this answer, but of course it is my previous teachers I had when I was doing school. So what I really want to do is take aspects from all of my favourite teachers and roll them into my own unique way of teaching so that when my students are at uni doing teaching or just anything, they think of me and how I influence them and how great, I hope, of a role model that I was to them. So moving on to teaching philosophies, styles, or strategies. Which of these resonate most at the moment and why? So being fairly fresh to the profession, I found this question hard. So I asked for some advice from some family members who were teachers and found some interesting and useful strategies that I can make my own. So a few strategies that sound interesting are number one, incorporating practical elements. I think this is so important as it keeps the kids engaged, it keeps things fun, it keeps things light. They're also learning, which is awesome. Number two, moving around the classroom. I never plan to be the type of teacher that just sits behind their desk. I don't believe that shows you to be in control. I think that kids can be cruel sometimes, and if you're sitting behind your desk, I think they might see you as not so assertive, maybe a bit weak. I think it's important to get up, get moving, get around the class, be involved, see what everyone's doing. I think it's a really good strategy for keeping kids on their toes and keeping them engaged. Number three, group work. I love this teaching strategy as I think it is really good for giving the kids a sense of accountability. So, for example, if I don't do the group work, I'm going to let my peers down. I'm going to let my classmates down. It also is a little bit fun. It's fun to do group work, I think. It feels like having fun and not sometimes you don't feel like you're learning, but you are. Number 4, using a mixture of typing and laptops. I think our world is so focused on technology that it is important to go back to basics, to go back to writing, which helps you with your creativity, helps to give you a sense of identity, getting a writing style. I know with the younger grades, we won't use laptops as much, but certainly with those older grades, it is really important to use a mixture of both. In terms of teaching philosophy, I want my mantra to be that as soon as you step inside the classroom, anything is possible. There is no silly questions. There is no wrong answer. The most important thing is that they've thought about it, and yeah, anything is possible. So moving on to part B of the assignment, I'll outline my responsibilities prior to beginning and throughout my professional experience. So in Australia, I think we're so lucky to be in a profession that has certain set standards of practice. In teaching, that is the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers, so APSTs, which are talked about a lot in this course, comprising of 7 standards, which outline what teachers should know and be able to do. The standards are interconnected, interdependent, and overlapping. The 7 standards are know students and how they learn, know the content and how to teach it, plan and implement effective teaching and learning, create and maintain supportive and safe learning environments, assess, provide feedback and report on student learning, engage in professional learning, engage professionally with colleagues, parents, carers and the community. So the reason I'm outlining these standards is because I believe that as a pre-service teacher, it's my responsibility to learn and maintain these APSTs prior to and actually throughout my professional experience and even my career. I think it's so important as these essentially giving you a guide of how to do your job successfully. Moving into my professional experience, I think it is my responsibility to adhere to the school's ethos and individual rules, as well as adhering to the Queensland College of Teachers Code of Ethics, which outlines professional conduct and behaviour required of approved teachers in Queensland. So I think it is important to be well versed in the Code of Ethics, as it also outlines professional boundaries as a teacher, something which is, extremely important. So just moving on, I'll discuss how I'll interact professionally and appropriately with my students and my mentor whilst on professional experience. So my first step in interacting professionally with my mentor will be to organise a pre-prac visit with them as soon as I am placed. Doing this will ensure me the best start to my prac, and it will allow me to get to know my mentor as well as asking any questions I may have in regard to dress code, where I need to park or how I get there, and what the kids will be learning in the week or weeks that I am there, just so I can do a little bit of my own homework and be well versed in what they're actually learning. So organising a pre-prac visit will also show my commitment and interest to the fantastic opportunity that is prac. Prior to my professional experience, I will print out professional prac booklet, which will help build my professional relationship with my mentor and myself. Whilst I am on prac, I will remember that I am there as a teacher and not a teacher's aide, parent or volunteer. I will show initiative and attend any extra activities that I need to, such as bus duty, lunch duty, staff meetings, professional development. I believe that this is just only going to further show my professionalism and my initiative to be there. I understand that I need to be prepared to adapt lesson plans when needed, and remember that no 2 days, no 2 students are the same, and that it is okay to adapt the lesson plan, and it's only going to show my learning ability and my ability to adapt. When interacting with the students, I'll only help when appropriate and only act in appropriate ways. I will not distract them from what their teacher is saying, and I will always maintain a high regard for confidentiality and protect the safety and well-being of the students. I will act professionally and appropriately so as not to burden my teacher, sorry, my mentor, but to help them with anything they need, such as marking, teaching, planning, preparing of materials, especially for the younger grades, and of course after school duties, before school duties, during school duties, like I explained before. So that concludes my answers to the questions for the assignment, but I just wanted to add that this assignment has been very helpful in giving me the ability to understand exactly what I need to do within my prac and then of course in my career. It has made my thought process as a student teacher delve deeper. I'm just reminding myself why I'm doing this, and for what reasons. So I want to thank you for viewing my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.